recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And today is a very special bonus episode that I decided to have where Lee takes over the reign and asks me questions about anything that comes to mind. So, of course, the conversation went straight into our wild drinking days, some of the characters we used to hang out with, and all of the hijinks that we got ourselves into back in the day. So you're not going to want to miss this one. Pull up a seat, grab a drink, and enjoy some barstool talk with a couple of guys at the pub. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your guest host for the day. He is the one they call Bruce, Mr. Lee Olson. Woo! Slow clap. Lee Olson in the house again. Woo! Yeah! Yes! So this week, Lee, you're gonna kind of take over the show. You're gonna like
it's about fucking done. Listen to you drone on for a really long time. First, how about a cheers, man?
Yeah. So
let's light this shit up. What do you got?
I got a cran vodka.
Not bad.
Vodka cranberry, right? So let's do it.
Yeah, good enough, man.
Not bad.
First question.
Oh,
worst hangover.
Oh, I'd have to say the last one I had.
Which is sad because it should correlate with the best party.
Right.
Unfortunately, it correlates with the oldest age. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, it definitely was. Yeah, that was, I think I talked a little bit about that with Christy when she was talking about her sobriety. And I was like, I could see how this starts because I went out with Eric one night. We didn't get crazy. We just had a few drinks and then we went to the bar and had a couple of drinks. And I forgot to take my little salt pill and I woke up the next day. I didn't drink any water. Woke up the next day and it was like violent puking until like 7 p.m. And like so much so that I felt like I was having a heart attack or something like that. And I was like, this isn't good. I think and then I stopped drinking for like 3 months. So
right. No, yeah. and that's how it kind of works. But I guess that's the question is the second follow-on question. Okay, what's the most drunk you've ever been that you either remember or someone had to tell you about? Because I've got a couple of both.
Okay, now there's a lot of drunkest I've ever been. Now, is this like the worst moment I've had drunk, or because like some of these you said that I remember?
I mean, it's your show, man. Like mine is a pretty clear one, which the worst one for me, but like it stands out as like, holy shit, I did what?
Oh yeah, I think the rocks.
Know.
The rocks one, when you're throwing rocks at people?
Yeah. When I was throwing rocks at cars, apparently.
Yeah, no, you got to tell that story too, because like we had a kegger, or not a kegger, it was a Spodey or a...
Right, so that was Aaron's going away thing before he was going to get brain surgery.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Aaron. Sorry, that brain surgery didn't work out great.
Always leave him laugh.
Yeah, let's start this podcast. Let's get this party going.
No, keep pushing along, man. He would have wanted it.
Oh yeah, he would. So, but no, we worked at a bar, and so we had the Spodey. We built it for days. Nobody would touch it, and I felt bad because I built it.
Got to explain what a Spodey is too, though.
Well, Spodey is you just pour a bunch of fruit and liquor into a garbage bag inside a bin and let it sit for 3 days in a walk-in cooler. At least that's my version.
I remember any human being that had even a little sip out of that thing, because I just had
Blackout.
one, like I had like a half a glass, and I was like, what happened last night?
There was something. Yeah. Now I can't account for it. Was a bar full of degenerates. Maybe somebody put some in there. I don't know.
Oh, that could be. I never even thought about that.
Right. But that was, so that's my clear one. Is it's the least clear I've ever been, because I had to have people tell me the next, like I woke up in a house I'd never been in with our server. Not, let's put things in her like living room. She's like, oh yeah, I had to pull you out of the street. You were throwing rocks at cars. I was like, fuck, okay. That's not good. And there's a good picture of me wearing the crap shirt, just completely glazed eyes.
Yeah. Woo. Oh man.
So that's why I asked that. Like, so worst hangover for me is also not that one.
Right.
Worst hangover is like not a ton of drinking, but old and my body sucks. And right.
Yeah, no, I was puking so violently
just this last time.
Yes, like I don't know, a couple months ago, and I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. And I was like, and I remember I looked up in the mirror and I'm like, really? Like, this is really like, was it? No, you know what I said? I actually said, is this worth it? Is this really worth it? And I was like, I literally thought to myself, I might stop drinking like forever, like after this. And, it is probably going to be like, one of those progressive things where I already drink way, way less than I used to.
Yeah.
Way less. But, I do like having a drink once in a while, but, so here you go. But, one of the worst moments that I ever had drinking, that made me so disgusted, like the following day, was when, I don't remember this because I think this was when that girl, Caitlin, who was a bartender at Gators, she came after her shift. She would come over to Daniel's bar, the Interchange. The Interchange,
right.
And she was so happy that she was off. She would always buy shots for everyone. Right. She's like, and I want to drink with people.
But it's already the end of the night because she got off.
Right. Well, she would get off at maybe 12
midnight or something.
Yeah, something like that. Right. So she would head over, and then she was like, well, hey, I'm buying some Patrons. And I remember she gives me one, and I was like, yeah, I'll do one. And I took a shot of it. And then the next thing I remember, I woke up the next day in my bed.
Holy shit.
And
I like how you have just that moment, like everything's great.
Right.
Gone.
No, but Lee, you remember the Interchange. The Interchange bar.
I think I remember this story. I was not there, but I think
I had apparently passed out on the floor of the bathroom at that place. Now just to describe this place, this was like a gas station kind of bar, like one of those kind of seedy, like public restroom kind of places.
Super fucking dirty bathroom.
Just the dirtiest thing you could ever think of. Yeah. And April Whale, who another
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Is this whole show going to be like rest in peace?
There's two. We're 4 minutes in. We got 2 dead bodies.
She went in and she picked me up off the floor, and she got me home somehow. I think she had someone give me a ride home or something. I don't know, but she wasn't laying next to me or anything like that. But I do not know how I got home. But when she told me that, Lee, I swear to God, I wanted to burn all my clothes. All the blankets on I was laying on top of my blankets in full clothes. And I'm like, and then she had to explain to me what I did. And I go, what did you say? I passed out on the floor, the floor of that bar. Can you imagine hearing that? Oh my God. That's
horrifying.
No, that is one of the worst things and look, you and I, we have a million horrible drunk stories.
That's pretty gnarly.
But that's pretty bad.
That's pretty gnarly. That's worse than like waking up to a person you didn't want to be next to.
I prefer no kidding.
Yeah. There's no chance that you just passed out after closing time.
Right.
Which means Interchange dudes came in and probably peed right over the top of you.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm scared to like try to figure out where I passed out and how was I in the stall or was I in between underneath okay, anyway.
Which also brings up the idea that bars are responsible for over serving people is fucking retarded.
Oh,
the whole point of bars is to get people drunk. I think they need to just have a rule that you aren't allowed to drive. There are Ubers waiting outside. You pay for it when you walk in, and we're going to get you shit housed.
My dad said that for years. He goes, if drinking and driving is such a problem and such a horrible thing, why do they have bars and parking lots?
And why is there not interlock devices on every car? Right. Yeah, no, it's completely horseshit. But especially now with Uber and all that shit, they should every bar should be required to work into their price. We have 2 cars sitting out there until 1 a.m. and at closing time we have 8.
Right.
And you pay for it like you pay for it on your fucking bill. Like, hey, we're gonna pay those guys $30 an hour to sit there.
They used to have a thing here in town where I don't know if they still do, but this is kind of right maybe before Uber, blew up. But what you would do is if you took a taxi to the bar, mm-hmm. I think it's like if you showed the receipt, then you could.
I remember. I think we took a free ride one day. Yeah. But there's no excuse for it now. I mean, whatever. But.
Right. So, but one of the kind of the coolest stories that I remember is this is with you, and I remember I went over to your place, and we drove to Ozzy's, which is down in Queen Anne.
Yeah.
And
in Seattle.
And I tell people the story, and I go, I can't believe this really happened, but it really happened. We were circling that's a horrible place to try to park. Yeah. But especially if you're there at, anytime after, well, at nine, after 9 or whatever. Anyway,
that's true. Yeah.
So we're driving around and we see this jerk who is, like kind of like parked in the middle of two spots. And you're like, fuck it, dude. You want to just hop out and fucking move this car? And I go, move the car? And you're like, yeah, dude, it's not even that big. We can fucking do it. And I go, are you freaking serious right now? And you're like, let's try it. And I go, I mean, I'll try it. Yeah. we already had a couple of beers. We literally lifted a car.
Fuck yeah, we did.
We moved a car.
Fuck yeah, we did. Yeah.
I mean, we were both lifting at that point in time. I mean, you're still a pretty big guy, but
well, it's more cupcake than anything, but whatever. But no, that actually goes back to high school. Like crazy. I used to go to lunch with Woody and all those guys, and there was somebody that parked. Like I would always try and bring my stupid car. I don't remember if it was Woody's car, somebody's car. We were bringing up to the front, right in front of the building. And as we were seniors, and there was a car that was where we wanted to park. Yeah. We just picked it up and swung it around. Because if you get the back end, especially those kind of old Datsuns and shit, you can just pivot it around. And we just pivoted it around, set it on the sidewalk, and parked there. Wow. Yeah. Like people are like, what do you mean you picked up a car? And I go, I swear to God, we picked up a car. I mean, people think it's nuts. It's totally possible. Especially because now cars don't really have bumpers. They kind of have like a plastic. Right. Everything's the whole car. Rip off. But back then it was a steel fucking. And you could just pick it up. Yeah. Just something you could like literally just lift up like as a handle. Yeah. That's what they were. Their handles. Exactly. So, yeah. Hey, that's a good memory. I didn't remember that one. Yeah. No, I'm like, I keep thinking back and I'm like, no, that happened. This wasn't like after we'd been drinking all night. No. This is like when we were going to the bar and we were annoyed at a car. So we were like, you were like, let's move this car. Just fucking pick it up. And I'm like, I mean, I'm all for it. Yeah. See, that's what I love about like all my friends. You guys are all kind of just fuck. Okay. Let's give that a shot. Now we'd be like, I don't know. Is that going to hurt my back? I would be the first one now to be like, I'm not fucking looking at it. I'm not going anywhere near that fucking thing. That's true. Call a tow truck, asshole. Yeah, right. Yeah. Or like, let's not go to the bar. That would actually go to, because we just talked about the worst hangover stories and they get worse with age. So now it'd be like, don't have to park at my house. Right. Don't, I got a garage. I can just park there and I can pass out on my couch. Fuck, getting old is weird. Except one time I actually, this is a few years ago now, but I was drinking with Eric and maybe my brother. I'm not sure. I like how all these are kind of a blur, but the mornings, they're never a blur. So the morning, well, actually it was kind of a blur. I was going to say mornings are blurry. So check this out. This is crazy. I woke up in the back of my pickup truck, like not in the bed. Yeah. You woke up in the bed. No, not in the bed. Oh. In the back seat of my pickup. Okay. And the doors were closed, and that's why I woke up, because I was like, I can't breathe. And I woke up, and it was like one of those like, you're like, where am I? And I look up, and there's one single full roll of toilet paper on my chest, and I was like, did somebody like fuck with me? Like, what is this? And I was like, what the hell? So I come out, and I'm like, then you're like trying to figure out what's going on, right? So, and I was like, what happened? And I'm trying to figure out, like, I walk in the house and I go and I see like on the floor, it's like a trail of, clues. So the spring roll, like that you put the thing in, it was like sitting on the floor, and I go into the bathroom, and I was like, was I in the middle of going to the bathroom or something? It's a Scooby-Doo mystery. Yeah, right. Unravel. But I think the toilet seat was down. It was like there's no signs of going to the bathroom. So I don't know if I just got mad and I took the toilet paper and took it with me. I don't know what. Weird, right? I don't know. But, right. Yeah, so it was a lovely story, but then I had that story about, I think I told you about this when I went to go visit it's always with my brother. Is he like screwing with me? No. Maybe your brother's drugging you. Right? I was like, what is this? No, but equally as weird is, I don't know if it's equally as weird, but it's definitely weird. I was going to visit him in Manson. Okay, yeah. Him and his girlfriend had this kind of cool old house, and I stayed with them. And we were out drinking all night, came back, and the next morning I wake up and I'm on the top of the sink, laying across like the counter, but my back is over the sink part, and the faucet is pushed all the way back. So it's like I
I was like, where's the coldest place I could lay or something like that. And I picked the top of the sink.
So, okay, but you just connected it because I was like, there wasn't a floor, but it's heat.
I guess so.
You have to cool.
I guess so,
Okay,
right?
all right, because that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
because I definitely have slept at the bottom of like a set of stairs on the top on the one piece of tile because it was the closest place.
Right, and is that why people like hug the ground on the floor? Oh God, in the
bathroom.
Interchange.
Maybe you were looking for the coolest place. You know, they did fill the urinal with ice there. Maybe this was
right. My head. She pulls out my head.
Maybe this was way worse than they told you.
Right. They're like, or they're just like, hey, look at what we can do with this guy. His head just keeps going in and out of the toilet. Oh God! Oh, she's chewing the log. Oh God! No,
he keeps saying thank you. This is so cool. It's weird.
He's thanking us. You gotta get Joe in here. You gotta. Hey, Joe, you gotta see this shit.
Yeah, he's thanking us. We're dunking his head in the fucking urinal. This is great. This is the best night of the interchange ever.
Oh, it's so gross. God, why do we drink? Oh God!
I mean, but drinking's fun.
It is kind of fun.
It is diminishing now. I think I got a good relationship with drinking now.
Okay.
Except I did end up in my underwear on a golf course 2 weeks ago. But
oh, that's right. How do you end up in your underwear on a golf course?
Alcohol.
Oh.
How it happens is we went to a sponsor put on a golf tournament, invited us. It was me and Brian and Greg and our friend Will.
Was it free booze?
It was free Tito's.
There you go.
And I walked up and I was like, hey, can you just fill this plastic cup of Tito's and ice? And she's like, yeah.
Oh, no.
So I took that and then I walked into the clubhouse and I was like, can I get a squirt of Diet Coke? And she's like, yeah.
Oh, God.
So I drank like a solo cup of Tito's. Me and Greg were right there. And we finished it before they called us out to go play. So I got another one. And so before we ever hit the goddamn golf course, I was 1.5 full solo cups of Tito's in.
That's gross.
To my credit, I did win the putting contest.
Really?
Walked out in my fucking flip-flops, lots of golfers in their serious golf shoes and fucking polo shirts and shit. And I walked up and they had a contest where you got 2 balls to sink up like a 40-foot putt over a little rise. Everybody's taking their practice, including Brian. Like Brian's taking all his practice shots and shit. Everybody's taking it serious because you give them your name, you only get 2 putts.
Yeah.
Booze. So I walk up and I'm in my flip flops and whatever, and half toasted before 9 a.m. And dude's like, okay, you get 2 shots. And I was like, I'll only need 1. And I drop it, bonk, sink it, and just turn and walk away. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
What was it like? Happy Gilmore was like,
no, everybody's like, did that dude just do that? Did that dude just drop the ball and say, oh, only need 1 in his fucking flip flops, drop a 40-foot putt, turn and walk away? No, and I was like, I fucking did that.
Did you post that picture during the thing or after? Or
I think it must have been because I did not want to put like I was.
Did you erase it or is it still up there?
It's still up there.
Oh,
fuck.
Once you
make a bad decision, just own it.
Right. Yeah. I'm just. I mean,
and for the record,
I might put that up here.
Well, go ahead. And for people who don't understand the exact context, I was with the president of my fucking company.
Oh God.
And Greg, who's the PM, and our fucking customers. And I was in my underwear on the 7th hole fucking hitting.
Yeah, but they were like, dude, that guy right there, did you see what he just did like a couple holes ago? It was fucking amazing.
No, by then I had burned off all my goodwill from the good putt.
Oh, God.
No, there was a cigar roller there. I was cigars. Like, we were a mess.
Dude, isn't that the guy we saw rolling in the sand? Like
I didn't do that. But you know what, though? We did golf better than when we went with Kevin. And Kevin hit the ball through his legs, through the windshield of the golf cart.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was the most amazing shot I've ever seen.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
It was stunning.
Wow.
Through his legs, backwards.
Yeah.
Through the fucking window on the golf cart.
This is not McKinnon.
This is McKinnon.
Oh, this is McKinnon?
Yeah, not that day.
Oh, okay.
This was years ago. But that was, I don't know how, the geometry doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The velocity doesn't make sense. The angle to get it through the window didn't make sense. And he fucking did it. I don't know. Nobody charges for that window.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of fucking drunken memories.
There really is too many to even. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start with all the drunken memories.
What's humorous is I don't think any of us have ever really done. The only thing I ever did wrong, really wrong when I was drunk, is I stole the neon sign and I drove over a roundabout, and then we called it. I was like, no, we gotta fucking.
That's bad. Yeah, well, you know what? That bar isn't around anymore.
Yeah, because they had $5 all you can drink fucking bracelets. No fucking shit. I should have sued him. We should have sued I should own that bar.
I told you, remember I told you about this place. I'm like, Lee, you won't even believe this. This is not a joke, Lee. You buy a $5 or I don't know, it was a $5 or $10 bracelet. $5 bracelet.
Or so. Like,
yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah, if you want to get premium drinks, you get $2 more.
Right.
Like Lee, you get a $5 bracelet and then it's free drinks.
You can drink. And by the way,
it's a college bar.
And by the way, because of the all you can drink thing, no girls. So guess what? It's just a bunch of dudes who have given up already.
Angry dudes
on the night. They've already given up and they're just going to get absolutely annihilated. And that's what we did.
Oh no.
Oh man. Yeah, that place is bad. But luckily, like, we're mischievous drunks. We're not really
right.
Drunks,
we were all pretty generally happy, and you were always trying to make us laugh and stuff like that. So it was always kind of.
I had a bad habit of fucking with people, especially like bikers and shit. And
bikers.
I could be an asshole.
Yeah,
but I'm not a
yeah.
dick.
You would walk up to bikers a lot. Well, and I'm like, why are you walking up to bikers?
Because I wanted to fight them. In a weird way. Like in a weird way,
you wanted them to fight you, so you had a reason to fight?
I don't know, because I was never a good fighter. I don't like fighting, but there's that little part of me that's like, I wonder if I can just push this. And I don't pick people who. I think that's the thing, is I pick people who act tough. I don't pick people who are weak, and like, I don't walk up and pick some. Hey, dude, you want to fight? Like, I pick a dude who's probably carrying a fucking firearm.
You also remember I think you spoke about this a long time ago as well. Like, remember you could spot guys like that too.
Yeah.
Like, remember that guy that you're like, that guy wants to fight Josh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Like, we were
at the fucking Spunky Monkey.
Yeah, and we weren't even like we weren't really doing anything that night. We were just literally just having a drink.
That dude put off the radar, and I was like, that dude's gonna fight one of us.
You're like, he's either gonna fight us or I'm gonna buy a drink and try to diffuse the situation.
That
or something,
happened too at the one in Green Lake, where the big Samoan dude, that dude would have fucking thrown me in the dumpster.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was the night that whole thing kicked off that we weren't a part of, and I walked out and the dude took a swing at me, and then we just fell into the melee.
The hell?
You don't remember that one?
No.
So same night, we're there at the tiki bar or whatever in Green Lake.
Oh, Tiki Bob's? Tiki Bob's?
No, not Tiki Bob's. It was like Twin. I don't know, fucking Twin T, something right on Aurora next to Green Lake. Wow. And
it's had to be what, early 2000s?
Kangaroo and fucking something. I don't know, some Australian thing or.
Oh, wait a minute. Was this Kevin's cousin's bar?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No. It wasn't Kevin's cousin's bar. It was, but we were up there.
I like how we have so many stories of like this that are similar.
Not that bar. Not that. No, not his bar. No, not that. It's a totally different bar. It's another bar. No, in another city, another bar. Yeah, no, not that one in that city. The other. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a tiki bar of some sort.
We went in there and we were just having a good time. And I was sitting at the bar and you guys were kind of being loud. And there was kind of a scuffle. Some guys got kicked out and I'm sitting there and pretty soon the bartender just shoves like a beer in front of me. And I'm like, thanks, what's this for? And she goes, it's on him. I turn and look and there's a fucking 400-pound Samoan dude.
Oh
there.
God.
And he's just kind of looking at me and I'm like,
oh no.
I was like, hey man, thanks. What's the deal? And she goes, he's either going to fight you or he is going to buy you a beer.
Oh, good.
And I was like, well, what's the deal? What's going on? And she's like, hey man, he doesn't like really how you guys roll or whatever. And he wasn't even talking to me.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, hey dude, I appreciate the beer. I'd prefer that, whatever. And then, so we kind of leave it and he's kind of a little, Samoans are always weirdly fucking mellow.
Right.
Like when shit's about to get completely insane.
I'm so glad I'm like friends with a lot of Samoans, but yeah, if they're strangers and they don't know you.
Yeah. And the dude was honorable. He's like, hey man, I'll buy you a beer. That's my warning. And I wasn't doing shit. You guys were. Oh God. For the record. And I don't know what you were doing.
Was it like me and Ryan or something?
It was you and Kevin and somebody.
Great.
And so
you're always just kind of like chilling in
I was just kind of there. When
you would always find like
I drove.
Oh, okay. So, you would always find like the corner of a bar and like
it's weird. I'm not really a social person. And it seems like I'm social with you guys, but like I'm not really a social person. As evidence, I moved to Indiana and I don't know a fucking single person there anymore. I had a trainer that I paid to come visit to train me, and he's gone. I don't fucking have anybody I could call.
Did you say he like literally just disappeared?
He literally disappeared. Yeah. Nobody knew where he went. I guess he's okay. Like I think he's alive now. Somebody told me he's alive somewhere, but like he was like gone.
Wow.
But I don't really get close to people. I'm fine with my own company. And in bars, I think especially once you're a bouncer and once you kind of get that realm, you're stuck in it. You're stuck looking for that problem. But that night, I don't know if you remember, some shit kicked off and it went off outside. And then maybe a few minutes later, we just decided to leave.
Okay.
It was nothing big. We had never done anything. We go heading for the door and I walk out the door and this dude stumbles in front of me and takes a big swing. And I kind of dodge him.
Yeah.
and everyone behind me just shoves out the door. And I know this guy isn't going to hurt me. He's like a skinny dude, whatever.
Right.
And then we're in a pile up on the curb, and nobody's really trying to hit me anymore. And I remember this now. Kevin, it's hilarious because Kevin's like, dude, I held you back. That was crazy. And I remember like, yeah, I wasn't trying to fight anybody. I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on because it was just a melee in the street, in the sidewalk. Yeah. And we're like, what the fuck? And we ended up just kind of walking away, but like we got sucked into this vortex of shit.
Wow. Where was that?
Fuck, I wish I could remember the name of the bar.
No, like
Kangaroo.
What area? Like what?
Just the north end of Green Lake on Aurora.
Okay.
Just right before.
I know the area
where. Yeah. I remember where the Twin Teepees used to be.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
Wow. So I don't remember the name of the place.
As much as we went out, we did not get in fights.
No, but I think
there's always going to be some sort of altercation at a bar. You cannot escape it for as much as we went out, right? It
is. But here's a fun one. And since we're getting back to you, because I just dominated the show again. I took it over and told you about the fight I didn't get in. I want to hear about your BB McGraw's fight.
Oh God. I hated that guy.
Yeah, that dude was a fucking tool.
Well, okay, so this was him. This was not me.
Well, usually we're
not
people that start fights.
Yeah, no. So we were always, remember, so when we'd go to Seahawk games, we were always vocal, but I was very adamant, especially with like people like Fetus, when we go to games with Fetus, and he would jump on people's backs. And, and I'm like, we'd always have to like pull them aside. We're like, do not touch people. You could yell at them and stuff like that. You could talk trash. Right, we don't care about that, but don't touch people. That's you're taking it to the next level. And when you do that,
brother,
we don't want to, get involved in that. So, this one guy, and by the way, I wasn't even the one that was like harassing this guy as much as like, we'd have like, Ethan, and I think Ethan came in there one time and everybody was always like, this guy trash. He was just this tall, skinny 49ers fan. And this is a Seahawks bar, right? Yeah. So like we're clapping when it was, the Seahawks did good. Yeah. And then he would come over and he would slow clap right in front of us. Like if the 49ers did something. And so we're like, all right. So one time we sat like the bar was full. So we sat in his section. Mm-hmm. And we sat in his section, and then we're like, all right, well, we're just going to act like we normally do because we usually sit on the side. Mm-hmm. And then we were clapping, and it was like, I don't know, it was like close to the end of the game, and it was like a huge play that the Seahawks made against the 49ers. And I was like, whoa, yeah. And I like just turned and I said, yeah. And I did the clap, and he stood up and he took a swing at me. Yeah. And he grazed me. And I was like, this guy like just swinged at me. Right. He hit me. Like he didn't hit me hard. I know, right? But so I hit him back. Yeah. And the bar started cheering. Yeah. And he got thrown out. Yeah. And he was like fucking awesome. And he was a regular. Yeah. Like this guy was like, he's not like, everybody's favorite person, but like you can't stand in the middle. And this is like a bar restaurant. This is not like a full on.
It wasn't a bar. It was a restaurant that turned into a sports bar. Right. Like whenever there was a game.
So like we're standing up right in the middle of this place. So when you do that, I mean, there's no, okay, who started? Well, he did.
Everybody looked because they were eating their cheese sticks right in front of him.
He literally swung and hit me, grazed me in the, So, but anyway, so he got kicked out. He didn't get kicked out forever, but he's 86. Right. He's not 86. He spent way too much money here. Right. So he was back, but yeah, it was just kind of weird. Like I'm not in a lot of like altercations like that. Usually because I have you guys around and you really end it really quick. But like kind of like Stites did at that one.
Oh, that was so rad. Stites is a fucking baller, dude. He picked that dude up and he just sat him down.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it.
Me either. I was at the bar and Rolls, the bartender at the time, but bar owner eventually runs by me and I'm like, and I see everything going on and I just see Stites go whoop. And pick him up.
It was crazy. Yeah, I saw because I was just kind of like just hanging, like I'm always doing, like a dumb animal, like I'm just standing there.
Yeah, I'm oblivious too, especially in that bar. That was home. That was home turf, so we didn't.
Stites, I guess, saw him coming to me, and I just saw the guy disappear. Yeah, I didn't see what happened. And they're like, "What happened? What?" And then he was just had his like neck or something like that. I was like, "Whoa, what? What the?" That was crazy.
I love Stites.
Yeah,
dude, he's good, man. He lost 150 pounds. He's a firefighter now, or works with the fire department. He also still works for his job with the county, but like
Wow.
Yeah, I should show you the picture, dude. It's insane.
That's crazy. You're going to have to show me a picture.
It's amazing. I met with him, God, I forget when I was here, in March, whenever Mariners opening day.
Yeah.
So I met with him briefly. He looks fantastic. He's doing
awesome.
well. It's awesome.
Good to hear, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back and hang out with all those guys. But yeah, he was fun though, dude. And that place, like Temple, was awesome.
Yeah. Is that still around?
I don't think so. I drove by there a couple days whenever I was in Seattle. I drove by. It sure didn't look like Temple was still there.
Oh, that was kind of like a cool hangout.
Yeah, it was a mellow, but it was also
mellow.
Pioneer Square, and Pioneer Square is a shit show now. So
yeah, Pioneer Square was like one of those places that was kind of like it's kind of like the old school, kind of like bars, like into the new school. You know what I mean? Like especially the Phoenix Underground. I was like, this looks like just like one of those movies when they're in a bar, like they go to.
Yeah, that they would have filmed. In that,
Yes. So I was like really excited. I was like, whoa, this is like kind of, it's not really my vibe, but it's still kind of cool to be in here, you know? Like, and they had like 3 different levels it was kind of cool, but that fell in
I mean, bars go out of business.
But didn't that actually like literally
in the earthquake? Yeah, that's right. That is when they stop being.
Yeah, they're like, well, I guess this is it. And then
God just told us to stop being. Dude, remember the fight we almost got? I say almost because nobody really got punched, but remember the fight on First Avenue coming back from Aussies? The dude spit in your face in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah, but isn't that the one where like weed taken off or whatever? Like, and then,
well, we were in the middle of the street and that dude was fighting someone else in the middle of the street, and he jumped back and you had to hit the brakes. And you're like, and we just had the windows down.
Oh, it was just like me and you.
Yeah, it was just me.
Oh,
and you.
yeah.
And dude's
oh,
like,
man, you were so pissed.
Well, because
I had to like talk you out of like I was like, maybe you should.
Sort of. If we're being honest, those dudes were really big. There's a lot of them. So I was being Mr. Tough Guy, but also I got in the truck pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
But it was that dude was in the middle of the street fighting someone else.
Dude, that was nuts.
And he jumped back and you had to hit the brakes and just sort of instinctively you go, whoa. And the dude without saying anything goes, and spits in your fucking window at you.
Yeah.
And I was like, click.
Oh, God.
And I jump out. And at the time I was shaved head, big goatee. And I got out and the dude's like backpedaling the whole time. And he's kind of like, and then I look at the curb and his like 8 buddies pour off. One dude had to be 6'6".
Yeah.
And I'm like, and
we need to go.
Yeah. Somebody's kind of hold me back. I think the dude was kind of holding me back. And I'm like, your boy just spit in my buddy's face.
Oh, God.
And he's like, and it was a big,
these aren't great stories.
And he's kind of like holding me back. But I'm kind of like, I'm not going to make a big deal about this. Let's just get back in the car. And so we did and drove away. But that one easily could have turned into a stabbing.
That's like the time that, I don't know if Barbary talked about this, and I don't think you were there. But a group of us went down to Tacoma at, what's that bar that's like right?
Harmon?
It's like right on the corner and like it crosses like the water, like and the
Dock Street.
Yeah, I think it was Dock. No,
yeah.
is
Dock
it
Street.
Dock
Dock Street's like right down.
Not. It's around the corner from there, like more in downtown. But it's like when you go down to the bottom of the hill, it's next to the kind of like the freeway.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Harmon right there, right on the corner. Harmon
is that what it's called?
Yeah, right next. Like if you come off the bridge or whatever, it's right. I don't know.
Anyway, it was a popular bar. But
sorry, I remember the gay bar that we sent Kevin to.
Oh God, that was so great. Whatever. Oh my God.
Are we allowed to talk about that now in 2022?
Can we? Like we sent both. It was Kevin and Ryan, right?
It wasn't malicious.
It was Kevin and Ryan.
I think so.
Because Ryan's like, he goes, and Ryan looks like a bear.
He totally does.
He looks like a bear. So Ryan's like,
guys are buying him drinks. He's like, this place is fucking awesome.
He's like, this place is pretty awesome, man. Yeah. And then Kevin's like, this doesn't seem right.
And meanwhile, we're outside. We're like, you guys have been in there a while. Like, we figured you should figure it out like at the door.
Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, that was awesome. No, but we walked out of this one bar and these guys were like, again, like it's kind of like that same thing where the guys are like super cool to you and like they're like being like, and I was like, yeah, and I was like talking to this guy and I was like, yeah, man, I was like, yeah, this guy's a cool guy. And then we walk right out the door, right, because there was in back of the place. So
you're talking about Swiss, are you?
Yes, the Swiss.
Okay, all right.
So it goes right up the hill, right?
Yeah.
And then there's that alley right in back. Mm-hmm. So we're walking out, and this guy, he's talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, man. And then all of a sudden he jerks back and he goes, "What's up, motherfucker?" And I was like, "Whoa!" I go,
"Nothing's up, bro."
I know. I'm like, "What?" I go, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, and he swung at me, and I dodged it, and then. I think he swung like this way because I remember going like this. I dodged to the left or to the right, and I look down and I see Mike Barbary's head hitting the cement. So somebody else there was like a group of guys.
Yeah, and they decked him.
They jumped our group of guys. And then because it was completely
unprovoked.
we didn't know, we didn't even expect anything.
Right.
Because they were all talking to us, like being cool. And then they all like just started running down the alley. And then a couple of guys started like of our group, they started running down the alley. I go, don't chase people down an alley.
Right.
Let's get out of here.
Right.
I was like, what the hell happened just now? That was that was probably the weirdest because like they were like really cool. Like, you know, so maybe it was kind of there's a
vibe that some guys get. And it's that one that was at the Spunky Monkey or whatever. Those dudes were cool with us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that fucking guy. And remember,
so weird,
you went outside and they came out after you. And I, like me and I forget who else was there, walked around the cars. And I don't know if you even knew this. I kind of intercepted the dude because they were walking in the parking lot after you.
You told me about that. Yeah.
And I walked between the cars. I was like, hey. He was like, hey. And I was like,
oh shit, I was just about to stab your friend.
Right. And then it just turned into have a good night. But like he was told, like they totally came out after you and we didn't do anything. They just had that fucking thing.
Ugh.
I don't know. Yeah. Fucking booze, people. Get into booze. It's a road to.
Wait, I think we're telling all the worst stories.
I mean, these are good. We're here. Yeah. Nobody ever got hurt. I don't know.
That's true. We never really got hurt, right? I mean, it was all just kind of, and these are all kind of like, most of these are like late at night when just people are stupid anyways. Right. So nobody can even really do any damage anyway. Like, what are you going to do? Like you don't have any of you're just all of your.
Everything is fucked. Yeah. That's why being a bouncer isn't that hard.
Right, that's what I've heard.
I've never been a good fighter.
Yeah.
And I could just spot people getting in trouble and sort of shuffle them out.
All you need is a couple guys to just help you throw them out on the street.
Yeah, or if you intercept it early enough, you're like, hey, bro, this isn't going to go well for you. And sometimes they're like, yeah, okay. I wheeled a guy out once on the chair. He was getting, and he wouldn't, I asked him to stand up and he wouldn't. So I just grabbed the chair and I was like, super slow. And I took him to the door and just sort of opened the door and dumped him out. It was super mellow and the whole bar clapped. They were like, this is great. Because I literally just tipped him up. I was like all the way across the bar. That was at Fenders. And I dumped him out the side door right by the jukebox. Just super gentle. I was just like, okay.
Oh, God. Have you seen Fenders lately? Do you know what it is?
I mean, it's a fucking weed shop.
Yeah, I had my brother drive by it the other day and I was like, dude, it's a weed shop now. It makes sense. I remember,
good for them. If we had been ahead of the curve, we'd have done that.
Right. Like, remember, because right after you guys, it was like the piano bar or whatever. And I go, that was the hot thing then.
Yeah.
And then now it's
weed shop. And weed shop will end as an entrepreneurial thing and it'll become a big business and it'll be like an Apple store, but
right. Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Good drunk stories. You asked me about on the last pod, you asked me about my birthday and you gave me a nice unicorn cupcake.
Yeah.
What's the best birthday and worst birthday?
Oh, okay, so the best birthday, one of the best birthdays was when all you guys came down to visit me in Phoenix, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. I was like, you guys all sent me a text at the exact same time, like all of you. I was like,
with our flight shit.
Yeah, it's like, dude. And I was like, what the heck? Did you just like say like at 8:00 on the dot, send them a text. Blah, blah, blah. So I get like, I don't know how many people came down, but it was like
half a dozen.
Yeah, it was like crazy. I was like, what? Whoa.
Well, and I had sent everything to everybody, but of course, traveling fucking thousands of miles is pretty tough. So I was pretty happy with the turnout. It was good people.
That was awesome. Yeah. That was cool. One of the worst birthdays I ever had. I'm going to count. Can I count my brothers? Like, so my brother had a birthday.
Good. Yeah. Any birthday.
And so I remember, it's so horrible. My mom made this cool cake. It was like this big, like caterpillar cake.
Wait, what age are we talking about here?
Oh, this is a long
36?
time. 36? This is a long time ago. This has got to be maybe the late 80s, early 90s.
I'm actually disappointed. I was hoping your mom made a caterpillar cake for your 36th birthday. That'd be pretty rad.
It was made out of Twinkies and stuff. See? It was like super cool. Anyway, that was the good part about that day because right before they were going to be presenting, like presents and stuff to my brother, I think it was my mom pulled me aside and said, your dad and I are getting a divorce. And I was like, what? I'm like, is this for real? Like, what?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, right? What is that? And I'm like,
that's like a movie.
Right. It's like a comedy movie though, right?
I'm a bit confused though.
Yeah, they never got divorced.
Oh, good enough. Okay. So they're like, let's scar this kid for good. He's never going to forget this shit. Let's tell him we're getting divorced.
I'm like, what? I was like in tears. I was like crying. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Your brother's like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, he did. He probably still doesn't know. He probably still. I totally forgot about it until you said, "What's the worst birthday?" And I was like, "Well, that'd be my brother's birthday." I don't know what year.
That's a pretty good one.
That's pretty good, right?
I mean, I never wanted kids, but now that I think about it, I could have fucked with kids. Like, that would have been kind of fun.
Well, why do you think I always did Halloween? I always scare kids. It's hilarious. It's so fun.
Now imagine every day is Halloween. You can just fuck with them whenever you want. Cut the power to the house and make a bunch of screechy noises. And
dude, it'd be awesome being a ghost. Wouldn't it be awesome being a ghost? Oh, it'd be amazing. I wish I could be a ghost.
I don't know.
I don't want to die right now. But
ghosts get hangovers?
It's a good question. They seem angry. A lot of ghosts seem angry, right?
Well, Casper.
Well, Casper's...
He was friendly.
Yeah, he's a friendly
ghost. He was so notable
he's not
for being
a demon,
friendly
right?
that he was Casper the friendly ghost.
Right.
So you're right. Most ghosts are pretty pissed off.
But that could have been like kind of like one of those, he could have told everybody he was a friendly ghost, and like the show, he was like, yeah, I'm all happy and nice, but then he would turn around and like fuck with people.
That's true.
See?
We don't know.
I know. Yeah, I need to see the rated R Casper movies or the TV shows.
I wonder if that could even happen now.
No.
He'd have to be a superhero.
Scooby-Doo probably couldn't even happen right now.
No, he'd have to be a superhero. It'd be a Marvel thing.
I mean, Shaggy was a stoner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they drew up everything about that show is like a bunch of stoners. Yeah. They're always hungry.
Yeah.
They're traveling around seeing like ghosts, but they're really not ghosts. Right. They're just,
just fucking with people.
Yeah.
Meddling with people.
Right. And they would have gotten away with it too.
They would have.
Yeah. So now you're naming all the fighting drunken stories.
I mean, there's so many drunken stories of all kinds.
That's true. Now, what's the funniest drunk? Because like there's so many stories that we would have. Do you remember the time that was that you that when we left Ozzy's and you peed over someone's head, or was that right? No, that had to be you because you're the pee guy.
I'm a long peer. I'm not the pee guy. Like,
you are the pee guy because you remember we'd be in those long troughs like in the bathroom, and you could literally take one of those full urinal kicks and you could piss it all across the.
But that doesn't make me the pee guy. That makes me a guy that can pee with force.
Okay, I guess the pee
Ryan
guy
is the pee guy because he had the cop come up and be like, "That's you're about to end up."
That's
on
right.
the record."
That's what I was thinking about.
That was ironically at Dick's.
Yeah.
Ryan was pissing outside of Dick's.
There's a lot of wiener talk on our episodes lately. What is that?
I feel like it started with you, but I guess I'm leaning into it. I don't know. It's gonna be a weird weekend.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's good to have you back. Are we gonna have more drinks?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have more drinks. I think we can get by without getting too hungover.
Okay.
I think we've.
Are we gonna get any fights?
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I don't think I've ever been almost in a fight at Bridget's. Have I? Probably.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because
first of all, that's one of the reasons I always treated the bouncer well when I came in.
Yeah.
He's just probably like, this dude's hitting on me. No, it's because if shit goes down, I want him on our side.
No, that's why there's not a lot of fights that go down at Bridget's because that's one of those very local bars.
Right.
Yeah. So like
everybody has to look at each other across the fucking courtyard if they get in a fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everyone knows each other. So it's like, oh, you want to screw with that regular?
Right.
All right. Well, here we come.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of like about dive bars, but it's also kind of, it's like
dive bars have their ups.
Yeah.
And then they have their bathrooms. Sorry, buddy.
That's gross. I can't believe you just did that. Mid-drink, by the way. You did that mid-drink.
Yeah, that was bad. Dude, do you remember, like, I was just thinking about, like, dive bars and whatnot, and I was reminded of a riddle. Remember we used to call it getting riddled?
Oh, my God.
Because he would show up. Like, you got to describe what he would do to us.
So what happened was, I don't know what year this was. Maybe it was kind of like the time we started hanging out with that other guy that I can't mention. But So we started hanging out with Riddle because we both, you knew Riddle way back, right?
Oh, yeah.
Junior high?
Like elementary,
like
yeah.
Okay. I knew him in high school and we kind of like, I don't know where we ran into each other, but we ran into each other and goes, dude, we should like hang out. Like,
dude, I was so grateful for that because and that was my first sort of social media thing. I was like, I'd have never been in touch with him again.
Right. So he's like, so it turned into like, every kind of like weekend we'd like hang out with Riddle. But what Riddle was so excited to hang out with us. And he loved getting people drunk because he thought it was kind of fun and funny. So what he would do is like, we would buy pitchers and we would buy pitchers. We were mostly drinking pitchers of beer and stuff at that point in time. So Riddle would buy pitchers, but then he'd fill it up you would be looking the other way and he'd fill it up like where it'd be crowning over the top of the glass. And you'd be like, you spill it and you're like, wait, and he'd like laugh. And I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of funny, except for the fact that we're dropping beer all over the place.
You just paid for an extra beer, bro. Except not really at those bars. They're like, hey, fucking
$6. Okay. But he would also buy, in addition to those, he would buy shots, he'd buy mixed drinks, and they would be coming, and you're like, all right, so I know if I'm hanging out with Riddle tonight, I'm going to get trashed. So
not even I mean, like next level.
Right.
Fucked up.
Right. So it's like, oh man, the bars we went to started getting closer and closer to where we lived.
Yeah.
And it was kind of bad because it was a term. It was a term.
Get riddled.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get riddled.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and Riddle's coming. Awesome because he was so.
No, Riddle's hilarious. Like Riddle's one of the best like drunks like ever because he's actually like when he's not drunk, he's very serious, kind of like more reserved guy. But when he's drunk, he's a hilarious and like, by the way,
and super giving and
and that's who we love to hang out with because that's kind of like us, right? Yes. So like we're like all happy, we're happy drunks. So that's part of the reason why we didn't get in too many fights unless somebody got annoyed by us having fun.
Right.
But yeah, like it's kind of like your old pitcher stories, buying pitchers for girls.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Well, that didn't work out well. Nothing I did worked out well, except that's not true. I ended up pretty good. I ended up all right.
Yeah.
But
there's hilarious stories about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, but it was so dumb. I mean, like some of the shit we did, it was like
think if we would have saved all this money and put it towards like
real estate,
house payments.
Yeah, what if we had taken all of our booze money and just bought houses? Which, by the way, for those of you out there spending your money on the weekends on booze and cigarettes, just save it and buy a house.
Right.
I promise you, the day will come when you look back and say, "Yeah, getting drunk was kind of fun, but I wouldn't mind a 4-bedroom house."
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
I know, we didn't either. And if somebody had told us that at age 22, we'd been like, hey, that sounds great.
That's great.
Like, who wants some 151?
Yeah, that's great, Pops. Hey, can I get another drink over here?
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I don't know, man. How did this turn into the Drunken Story podcast?
That was you, man. That's where you wanted to lean into, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
I mean, I guess that's all right. Most of our stories, I won't say most. We've got some pretty good stories that aren't drunken stories, but
we have tons that aren't drunken stories, but just a lot of stories that we're having alcohol at, but that's kind of like the thing that I talked about with Christy is when you think about and it's like more than ever, by the way, every single kind of event they promote, like they're like, we're going to have booze here.
Well, of course.
You know what I mean? Like it's everything. Like you can't escape it.
Except, okay, so I'm going to double back and say we do have a bunch of memories that were not alcohol because I didn't drink till I was 21.
Yeah, right.
You didn't drink till you were 21.
High school.
You know how many great memories I have from that period?
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of me
not too many.
And Ethan was like driving around, listening to metal. Like an Ethan hitting the gas pedal like he's a drummer. Like I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. Totally. Yeah, he did drive like that back in the day.
No, he'd fucking put on like fucking metal and you'd be like, Ethan, what the shit?
My neck.
God damn it. Oh man. Yeah, I think he still has that car.
What? No.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the mix. He doesn't have it anymore. I swear to God, he can correct me if I'm wrong. I swear to God,
what kind of car was that?
It was like a Corolla or some shit. The green Corolla, remember that?
The green? No,
not the Colt. Not the Dodge Colt.
Okay, that's what I thought you were thinking of.
Yeah, the Dodge Colt was like before that, but like the green, like college, like I just remember, he'd wipe the Doritos off the seat and be like, "Get in, brother."
Oh God, he's like a wrestler,
and just like, I don't know.
He is kind of like a wrestler. He's like, "What are you guys doing? Why don't you come on over here?"
He is. He's a little like Randy Macho Man. Yeah. He had the soul. He had the move. He had the Soul Crusher.
Yeah.
I was asking him about that when I was down there.
Pictures of that.
I have memories of it because I couldn't breathe. I was telling his kid about that because we went down to Oregon for his kid's graduation thing, which, by the way, of all the people I know, that dude created the best life for himself. His kid is awesome.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Yeah. He's got a great life.
He lives in like Mayberry.
Yeah, it's total Mayberry. And like, and he's got great wife, great kid, great life. I don't know. He seems great.
You see all the pictures and you're like, is this like a movie set?
It looks like they're like one of those Instagram families that are sort of made up.
Or like one of those old JC Penney's pictures that you see. And you're like, okay, it's like just like the family that they
hired to put in the frame.
They have like model family.
Yeah, except that's actually them. Yeah. And their kid, genuinely fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's an awesome kid. He's smart. He's pleasure. I don't know. He's awesome.
He sent me a card basically saying like, why the hell have we never met?
Right, dude. It's awesome because, you know, I think that's the one thing about like where they are. He's surrounded by his mom's family.
Right.
There's a lot there, but Ethan's family's all, you know, Ethan's sort of circle is sort of all over the place. So I think Riker really dug it when we were down there, and he's like, that's really awesome to see one of my dad's friends here. And, you know, like so I thought it was pretty cool for me too. Cause I was proud of Ethan, proud of him, but I did tell Riker about the Soul Crusher.
Oh God.
And apparently it heard about it. And I'm like, I don't think you've heard it from a person who thought did
Ethan do it to him?
No, I don't think
he wouldn't dare do it.
I think Ethan would like, you know, kind of joke. And he said that they would kind of wrestle.
They're just they're exaggerating.
Right. And I'm like, dude, Riker, you have no goddamn idea.
Oh no.
Because first of all, Ethan, all due respect, at age 46 or 47, you are not Ethan at age 25.
No. Or even younger.
20,
yeah.
Like at 22-year-old Ethan, you know, 6'5", 275, looked like fucking Howie Long with a noggin so big they had to order a goddamn helmet for him on a goddamn college football team that has big helmets. And they're like, can't help you. We got to order one.
He would have to buy like the biggest hats. And then it would be like the last thing that he'd.
So massive, big, bony fucking forehead and massive, just everything. And he'd just run up to you and grab you and put his fucking forehead into your chest and just squeeze the life out of you.
Yeah. I saw him do that too. I saw him damn near almost kill Kent Austin.
I believe it. Yeah. Dude, he did that so many times in our house, and you're like punching him in the head and shit, and he's just giggling.
You can't even do anything.
And you can't do anything because he's squeezing the breath out of you. You're like,
oh God.
Oh man.
Yeah. I told you about the time he broke my leg, right? I mean, he didn't mean to do it. But
he never did. Yeah, no, he's the sweetest guy in the world.
No, but that's like the last time I ever played Turkey Bowl.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, because it was snowing out and he charged at me, and I did one of those things where I tried to juke, but I'm like, oh wait, this isn't actual grass that I'm on, it's snow. So like I went to dodge him.
And it's like 31-year-old Josh, not 19-year-old Josh.
Right. So I went to dodge him and I moved aside, but I didn't move aside very fast.
Sure.
So he kind of did one of those things where his leg went out, you know, to try to stop me.
Right.
But it like whipped my leg. Ugh. And I don't think I slept for weeks because it was just like that massive throbbing pain, because, you know, normal people, they go to the doctor, but this guy worked for Brian Crooks and there was no doctor. Or I think it was actually after I got laid off. So I didn't have any insurance.
What's that? Medical insurance?
Yeah.
It's nice if you offer it. I won't need it.
Do you like when a
doctor in 12 years? That was rad. Jen did that. That was so rad. Yeah.
That was awesome.
A healthy employee is a happy employee.
It's a productive employee, right?
Productive, whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we mentioned this before, but for all the years that's been on the internet as a fucking video resume with my contact information.
Right. It's still valid, right?
Still valid. Hey, you want to hire me? It's right there. You know how many job anything, content, anything.
Nobody even contacted you?
No.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You know how many people said they wanted to hire you? There was tons.
I'm sure lots of girls said, I'd date that dude if he asked me, but guess what happened? People say a lot of shit.
Jewel dated you?
She did, but it took me 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if we're being honest here, it took me a while to wear her down.
You're like an actual like 80s movie. You're like one of those movies where like you're never a nerd.
Nah, I mean, I just fit in the middle.
Yeah, we're both like in the middle.
I was a nerd. I played music. I was with the stoner crowd, except I never smoked weed. I was with athletes, but I wasn't a great athlete. I was just.
That's why you and I hooked up. Yeah. Like we were like, hey man,
in the middle.
We have a lot of stuff in common over here.
Are you mediocre at everything? Me too. Let's fucking hang out. We'll almost get in a bunch of fights together.
We'll go to community college and
we'll go to medium college, go to medium bars, have medium times.
Yes. Oh man. God, look at all these good times. I'm starting to get depressed.
And didn't really. I mean, I guess we started the whole thing with like people dying. So.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. 2 people in a row. By the way.
Yeah. That's no bueno.
Any other deaths we want to mention? Or?
I don't know. Lots of people have died. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you're the obituary guy.
That is definitely. I hope nobody else, but that's not going to happen.
I have been reading a book by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and they talk about a good death. I hope that when my time comes, I can say, yeah, I had a good death.
So what's a good death?
You just live with virtue. And then when the end comes, you know it because you know it's going to come, right? Everybody knows we're all going to fucking die. If you live fearing that death, you're going to live in fear your whole life because it will absolutely happen. But a good death, and that's like Roman. For all the things that I miss about Roman, and I wish the guy would have lived to 100 years old. He died sort of doing something that he loved, something he was aware that had risk, something that he chose the risk and did it anyway.
Died on a motorcycle, by the way.
Did die on a motorcycle. And I won't say that's a good death because I felt like it was premature, and I feel like anybody that age probably isn't.
Who was he, like 20?
He's 25.
Oh, okay.
But, and so like there's the youth part of it where it's like, okay, there are a lot of good deaths by people who aren't mature enough to understand what a fucking good life is.
Right.
So I won't say his was or wasn't, but like,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I definitely, I get it.
I just view it a little bit differently than somebody who lives their entire life in fear and then hides under a table until they die. And like they live long enough to have a hospital stay at the end.
Right. Yeah. You hear all the stories about those people that are like on their deathbed and they're like, man, I wish I would have just done more stuff. You know,
just whatever.
Everything.
I mean, and I think that the fear, like that's the thing is the Marcus Aurelius book is all about sort of stoicism and sort of the idea that, yeah, you can be freaked out by shit, but the damage actually comes after you get scared and you ruminate on that fear. If you let the fear pass, you're like, okay, fine, it might kill me. Whatever. I hope that the people that have been in our lives and are gone could say that at the end, like, hey, I lived a pretty good life and, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I hope I can say that. I think I can. I don't know. I mean, look, there's plenty of shit I'd love to do. I'm not saying I'd be satisfied if I died today, but I think I'd be kind of all right with it.
You know why you won't care?
Because I'll be fucking dead.
Yes.
You want to fuck me in the eye, fuck me in the ass, fuck me in the I won't care. I still
think that's one of my favorite stand-ups. That's one of the David Cross in Seattle.
That's one of the best stand-ups in history.
It's great.
Like there's George Carlin jamming in New York.
Great. I really loved the one with Anthony Jeselnik in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Yep.
That was insane. I always like watching that one with people because I'm like, try to figure out where he's going with any of these jokes. Just try. Right. Try to find out. Try to find it.
Because he takes it 9 levels deeper. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did that in a time when people were still punching. They were punching.
Oh, right.
Like he's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I like that, man. Like, yeah. It's
obviously a little like Carlin, I guess. Carlin didn't give a shit at the end of his career. And he really didn't give a shit. He's like, I'm just going to fuck. I'll make fun of everybody.
Yeah. I mean, those 2 stand-up specials, Jammin' and then the one right after that.
You Are All Diseased.
Yes.
I think.
Those were, is that the one? Yeah.
I mean, it's either that one or Life is Worth Losing. Or like whatever, but
I just know it was like 92 and 96, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah, Jammin' in New York was the best comedy album in history.
Yeah, it was so good.
He said it was
he's just so great, like how fast he is, man, and
he had all of it fucking nailed. It was nuts. It was all like I don't necessarily agree with everything he said, but if there was ever a guy that I could sit and have an argument with and be like, "Fuck, man, you just about convinced me."
Yeah, he's a thinker.
Man, yeah, George Carlin was fucking awesome. I missed that show in Bellingham. I should have gone.
Oh, wait, you didn't see you? So you didn't. Ethan saw him. So Ethan got to see him in Vegas, I think. All right.
I'm envious. Fuck.
Me too.
Of all the things, because there are a lot of shows. That's a question for you. A show, either music or otherwise, that you never saw that you can't now that you wish you would have.
I never saw Soundgarden, but I saw Cornell.
Okay. All right.
Some of these are kind of like now. Are you talking about shows that I actually could have gone to? Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, not like, I would have loved to see Count Basie and Elvis do it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. So like, I kind of almost don't. Well, I guess I could have seen Alice in Chains, but like they had kind of a short period of, Lane Staley was like effed up for how many years?
Yeah,
like,
if you didn't catch him, like I saw Lane Staley play a show with Second Coming, but I never saw Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
But that was like 93 or something.
Gotcha.
And from 91 to 95, that was your window to see Alice in Chains, and then it was too late.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, because they pulled him together for that unplugged. Yeah. Boy, who would I have loved to have seen that? It's got to be someone that died, right? So like,
or just isn't around. I mean, probably that died. I mean,
right.
For being honest.
Oh boy. I was, the one. Well, the Carlin is the one that I always go to. It's not really a music person.
It doesn't have to be music. I'm just saying.
Okay, but Carlin's always the one that really woke me up because it affected me so bad. I got off that plane from Cancun, and the first thing that Fetus told me, and he goes, George Carlin died. And I'm like, dude. And I almost I didn't almost fall to my knees, but
the way he told it.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I literally said, dude, that's the first thing you tell me? Like when I got that's the first thing? And he goes, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, no, but I was like,
hold on. Give me a Fetus impression again.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's Sling Blade.
Yeah.
It's not Fetus. Anyway,
I don't know. My Fetus is always kind of Sling Blade. Okay. But anyway, that's the show that I remember saying to myself, that's it. From now on, if I want to see someone that bad,
you got to see him.
I'm going to see him because that affected me so horribly. Yeah. And that's why when Paul McCartney came around, look, it wasn't Paul McCartney in his prime, but Paul McCartney's one of my all-time favorite artists. He's in the Beatles and Wings and come on.
Right.
Solo. I was like, I'm going to see him.
McCartney.
Yeah. So I went to see him twice that year, which is pretty wild. But there's a few shows that I'm glad I saw Tom Petty a couple times. God, Tom Petty was awesome, man. Because like they were one of those bands that never stopped touring.
Yeah.
So like if you never stop touring, you're going to be tight. You're going to be good.
Yeah.
So Paul McCartney was one that I always point to where like, it's going to be a lot to go. One of them was actually free because of Bart.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But the other one was not free.
And not by a long shot.
No. But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I would say that Carlin would have to be that one. I
think it is for me too. I mean, like that's the one where because I knew I lived in Bellingham at the time.
Oh my goodness.
I saw that it was there and I just didn't go. And the two shows that I actually regret missing the most were when I lived in Bellingham. It's weird. One was Carlin because he was right there and I saw he was coming. I just didn't go. That's the thing is I could have gone. The fucking tickets were regular. Like I could have gone and I was like, I'll catch him another time.
That's exactly what I said. Cause he was I think he was like in Everett or North. Yeah. Like it was a weird kind of like, I don't know where it was, but yeah. And I was like, I'll get him next time. And then he literally died like months later. I was like, oh,
well, he died like a decade later, 2 decades later for me, but
really?
I still didn't because it was 96.
Oh, okay.
96
okay. Yeah. Mine was like 2008 or something like that.
So, but still like I would have seen him right in the prime.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been prime.
Oh,
96. It would have been right after like You Were All Diseased or whatever it is. And so I regret that. But also the other one, I mean, there's some shows I regret not seeing. I never saw Pearl Jam. And could have gone to see Pearl Jam. I take it back. I saw Pearl Jam in 2018.
Yeah, you mean like in their prime?
Because I could have seen him in like 91. I could have seen him. Like Jewel was at the Pain in the Ground or whatever, the something in the park and like where that famous picture.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I bought her that thing. I got a poster of it.
Oh, that's crazy.
She's in the crowd there. You can't tell because it's grainy, but like I could have gone to some of those shows.
Yeah. Well, because we're just barely on the cusp.
Jewel is the perfect age for that.
Yes.
But for the record, she's 15 years younger than me for anybody listening. That's for her benefit.
There you go.
But yeah, no, she was just the perfect age.
Yeah.
To go do that.
Yeah.
And she was in with
it's kind of like
people.
Alistair, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Yep.
Yeah. You
totally.
Catch that. Like if we had been 4 years older, we'd have been there.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But also you run the risk of being a Motley Crue fan then instead of a Nirvana fan.
That's true. That's true. Like your sister saw like all those shows too. Like didn't she get a mix of all those shows?
Yeah, she did a mix.
Because you can't really escape it being in Seattle like we were.
No, and if you go to shows,
yeah. Because like a lot of these bands, like your sister even probably went to a bunch of these shows where you didn't know this. Oh, that's gonna be Alice in Chains, like Alice in Chains. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we like I knew who Alice in Chains. Like I went to that show Second Coming in probably 94, 93.
Yeah.
So it was already, he was Alice in Chains.
Yeah, right.
But we didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah.
It was like Halloween show at the Moore.
But like some of those people like went to the Metallica, Monsters of Rock, and it was like, oh, we have this Alice in Chains group opening up.
And they're like, who's that? Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah.
But the other one, oddly, is a band I've seen a fucking boatload, and I still miss seeing the show. Tool played in 96 at the University of Puget Sound Fieldhouse.
Oh, wow.
And I totally could have gotten tickets, but I went hunting with my dad, which if I'm a good son, I say I went hunting with my dad in the mountains of Idaho. We flew in bush planes. It was an amazing time.
I mean, who knew you would have gone 20 more times with your dad?
I know, right? But that's the thing. At that point in my life, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And it was a hard ass kicking trip because I was young, my dad was young, and he fucking smoked me. And so I was miserable. I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be at the Tool show.
I remember that because you came back with a big old beard.
I did come back with a big
old beard.
Yeah. But we were in there for like a month.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's the one I miss the most that I could have gone to. It's definitely Carlin #1, Tool #2, and then there's a few.
Because you've seen Tool before though, right? Yeah. So like, but
that show, like in that setting at the UPS Fieldhouse, would have been fucking amazing because it's not a festival show. It's not the arena. It's a fucking little. I
have one, and this was only because of money, and I still feel bad about it. When Fleetwood Mac got back together in like 97 and they did that dance kind of like comeback thing on MTV or whatever, or VH1 or whatever it was, Marsh and I watched that and I was like, holy crap, I can't believe how good Lindsey Buckingham. That's when I was like, holy shit, this guy's a ridiculous guitarist. Right. And then that's when I started like really trying to kind of like find more information about this Lindsey Buckingham character. Right. But when they came on tour, that's when I was like, working part-time. I was doing school and stuff. And I was like, and Dan's like, we're going to this show. And I go, I'd love to go to the show, like really bad.
But it's $19, dude.
Yeah, right. I'm like, shit, I don't know. Like, shit, I can't go. And I turned down Ethan a couple times with shows and stuff like that. Remember, like money was kind of like a factor back in those days.
Well, certainly,
like us.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff that, obviously I would have gone if I had money, but
that's why I got a job at KISW. And then I just had all my friends go to any show.
Dude, that's how I felt about baseball. Right. When I got a job in baseball, I was like, holy shit, you guys are going to give me a pass and I can go whenever I want.
Exactly.
Like, and you can have 2 tickets to any game you want for your friends. I'm like, what the fuck? And you're going to pay me $4.25 an hour, which is what the wage was.
Yeah, and hang out with all the players and okay.
For a 14-year-old kid, fuck. Come on.
That's so crazy. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. There's lots of good shows, lots of good memories, and it's cool going over this shit and kind of hashing it back, looking, because nowadays I don't think kids look back.
Oh, you son of a! I remember that from the last episode. Yeah. All right, that's a good way to end the show.
All right.
Lee, awesome. I like. You should come on more and take over. It's always fun having you.
It wasn't as takeovery as it should have been, but let's drink some more Tito's and maybe I'll take over and make you turn this shit on later and we'll make this thing a regrettable episode.
You want to like do it again? You want to do another show? All right, well, we'll see. But until then, I'm Josh and this is Lee. And as always, thank you for being a friend. Woo! Woo!